Hey there YouTube, Ziggy here. Today we're going to go over a little bit about winter sowing. Now I'm out here in my little greenhouse, but it really, you can do it without a greenhouse. If you have old water or milk jugs, pop or soda bottles, basically any clear container that's tall enough. What you want to do is you'll make one of these, and this is really basic. It's just a milk jug that I've cut open with scissors right here. I'll show you how to make it in just a second. I've put some water drainage in the bottom and some potting soil. And then when it comes to winter sowing, you'll want to be specific. Right here I have some kale, I have some cabbage, I have some Icelandic poppies. Now, when I go for winter sowing, I do one of two things. I either find one that says, you can sow in September or January. Now this right here is for down in southern zones, and I'm up here in a northern zone, but with the greenhouse added, or with one of these little boxes, even just out in the snow, it will actually work pretty well. Now, here in my zone it says sow April to August, which means that I could have planted these in fall and they would have been fine. So they will definitely be alright in the cold in this little box. The cabbages, we all know cabbage is pretty resilient and you can handle some cold. Again though, it says, to plant it in July or September. And then the kale, again, same. It's very cold hardy and resilient. It says that I can plant it in March through May or August through September. So it's another good one for the outdoor crops here. I think that I'm going with the poppies right now though, just because, it's January 24th and I'm looking forward to seeing some color. So I'm going to plant a few of these poppy seeds here. And, I'm not going to use all my seeds because I do plan on direct sowing some of these into my flower beds. But I'm just going to, everybody knows that has ever grown poppies. They are tiny, tiny little seeds. Looks like just some dirt in there. So I'm not really going to bury them the way that I do with other seeds. I'm just going to sprinkle a few in very lightly. There's probably too many as is. It's probably about 20 seeds. And then, I think I'm going to get a tiny, tiny bit. Just a dusting of soil to put on top. And then, what I like to do is I actually take the packet and I press it down flat because, soil and those tiny seeds, they will stick to your hand, and when you lift up, you'll actually lose some, whereas the paper has its little, I don't want to call it plastic coating, but probably plastic coating, and as you can see, only a little bit sticks to it, and I just wipe that off. And then here's where, if I were an organized gardener, I would take a Sharpie and label what this is, but I'm just going to place them in an order and try and remember. And when things sprout, you generally know what they are. I have a little bit of duct tape here, and I'm just going to put some duct tape on. You don't have to make a seal all the way around it, even if it's outside. It will do alright. Before I had a greenhouse, this was my best method of propagation. I find that when I grow flowers and seedlings indoors, they get spindly under lights, they just don't do as well. You have to harden them off. The whole process just doesn't work as well for me personally. So this is what I do, and I've had pretty good success. This is my first year doing it inside of the greenhouse as well, so I am pretty excited for the new experience. But yeah, as you can see, I left lots of ventilation. The poppy seeds are in here, and then I'm just going to take this, and we're going to go over here, and oh gosh, where should I set you? Probably in front of the palm box. By the way, I noticed when I put the video up of my last video, you guys didn't really get to see my palms. So I'm going to try and get you a better shot of that. So yeah, those were my not windmill, sorry, that's the next palms I'm getting is the Trappicarpus fortunae, the windmills. But those are my needle palms, and I just have them in this little palm box, which I showed you guys last time. But right in front of them is the Icelandic poppies. I keep the cap off, and I will give them water. You know, eventually. If they were outside, I would just let the elements do it. You know, let the rain come down in through the hole, the snow melt. So, now that we've got that done, I'm going to show you my method of making one. Now, this is just an old water jug that I've been using to water plants and goats and chickens. And what I do is I take the sharp pointy part of a scissor and I puncture a hole in it. Now, I do this first while it's still solid because it's pretty difficult to do it when it's not solid. Even after that first hole, there's a lot of give. Now, I just do 4 holes like that. I'm simple. I've seen people do 6, 9, 10, 12. 4 has always worked fine for me. I've even done 3, but it does get a little boggy at the bottom. Come, you know, like April. So then you just puncture it in the side with a scissor there. And you just cut around at the depth that you prefer for your soil. And you bring it almost all the way around. See the space there's like that. And it will be very difficult to open, but I still bend it open here just to see where I want to cut it further. And then I cut it a little bit further so it's easy to open. And it'll stay open like that. And then the next step is real simple. You just got yourself some potting mix. You reach down in there, you get a handful, plop it in. You try and hold the camera at the same time. So you get your soil in. And then you pick your next seeds. I don't know if I'm going with cabbage or kale. I have kale already down in my little shabby makeshift hoop house. So I'm thinking I'm going with the cabbage. So then you just set your phone down because you need 2 hands. Open up your cabbage. And for those of you who don't know, cabbage seeds and kale seeds. Oh, there's a couple cabbage in my strawberries. Cabbage seeds and kale seeds are kind of similar. They're just little balls. They do roll out very easily, so let me get one of those cabbages out of those. Get as many of them out of the strawberries as I can, but you know, that's okay. They'll survive. They'll do alright. So I'm just going to plant a few of these in here and try not to do too many. Some people pick them out and do individual seeds. I've not had a problem with doing it the way that I do. But again, each to their own. A little bit of soil. A little bit more for these guys because they're bigger seeds and they can handle a tiny bit more. Not a lot though. And then just pack it down. Close her up, taper, and you know, place it where you'll know which plant it is. That's it for today. It is a lot colder today. As you can see, we got some snow, and I don't know if you can see the ice that comes off from the inside, but that's okay. It's a lot warmer in the greenhouse than it is outside. Probably about 20 degrees difference today. There is no sun. It's just snowing outside, so unfortunately it's not going to be super warm in here. But the seeds and the plants can handle it. Everybody seems to be doing alright. And you guys have a beautiful day.